Happy Friday. It's another edition of the Real Estate Superstar Show. Don't know if you realize, but we've done a little bit of rebranding, trying to go super specific, dive deep into the industry that I am so passionate about and spend every day doing, which is real estate. It's an interesting time in my life. I feel like, and I'm sure many of you go through this, you start into a career, and the first step in every career is you kind of it's baptism by fire. You gotta get in there. You gotta fake it till you make it. You gotta figure it out. And I feel like once you get your legs and you develop what you're good at from a process perspective, meaning how you do your job well and execute, then you have to start finding ways to scale, right? So I've learned that in order to keep evolving personally and professionally, I have to keep stepping back and evaluating things and saying, all right, where do I want to go next? What do I want to do? And the one thing that I'm learning is that you have to seek knowledge from the experience of people who have done it and have done it well. And over the course of the next few shows, you guys are going to see me be a little more philosophical, deeper in thought, trying to find the meanings in the guests we're having on and understanding more or less their recipes for success, but also ways each of you can benefit and how what they're doing can apply to what you're doing. And I'm saying this because it's funny. Yesterday, I went into Barnes and Noble, and it was my first time in Barnes and Noble in God knows how long. And I don't know how many of you do this, but I'm so guilty of it. I'll go in and I will buy books on all kinds of different topics. And for me, it's all based on what I think I want at the time or what I think is going to help me. It's like going to the grocery store and being hungry. That's the best way to call it. And 9 times out of 10, I'll buy all of these books thinking that I'm going to go home and read them. And I don't. And I usually end up wasting a ton of money on books. So my poor wife, if she watches this show, I'm sorry. Yes, I did it again. But it was funny. Yesterday, for the first time, I actually sat back in the business section of Barnes & Noble. And I went book by book, title by title, thinking, all right, how could this benefit me? What information will this give me? What body of knowledge will I get at this point in my life and in this point in my career that will take me to the next step and take me to where I want to be? And I realized in Barnes and Noble that my biggest problem is not reflecting, not sitting back and saying to myself, all right, forget buying the book that you might think will take you there. How about figuring out what you want and where you want to go? So you guys are going to be in my personal journey as I look to grow my own brand and business in the real estate space, in the finance world. And I'm going to hope by me fulfilling this journey, you guys learn a little bit about yourselves as well, and maybe you find nuggets that'll help you. So that's part of the superstar process for me. It's mindset, it's execution, and it's success. That's always what I've believed and felt. And my guest today is someone that I believe has developed her own system of success, and it's unique to her. I mean, everyone's different in how they do their daily business. Everyone's different in what they expect to do, what they want to do. But Christina Swain has developed her own personal brand and her own personal process. And it's something that I want to see if I can pull out of her so that everyone watching the show can benefit from these nuggets. And that's what the Superstar brand and the Superstar show is all about. It's all about learning from the success of others that are doing well and understanding what they're doing to get to that point. So without further ado, I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing my monologue here on a Friday. Most of you are probably on your way to the beach or doing something else out there. I'm going to welcome to the show of Opus Elite out of Newtown, Bucks County, out of Langhorne, Pennsylvania, out of Robbinsville, New Jersey, out of the Poconos of Pennsylvania, Miss Christina Swain, a.k.a. the Realtor in Red. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Was that a good enough like word vomit
Oh
introduction
my
for
God,
you?
that was great. Great introduction. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I am so excited. So I want to give everyone full disclosure. Christina and I work a good deal together. And it's more recently that we've done that. And I feel like it's because of we are like cosmically connected. Don't you
We
feel that
have
way?
great synergy between us
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
marketing and ideas, and we have fun doing it. So
I love the energy. It's like, I don't know, you're like my soul sister, I think.
yeah. And we're both very like in touch with our self-awareness too.
Yeah. You
One.
know what? Well said. Very
Yeah,
well said. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like we're present in our own mind, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I
That's
like
some
to
deep
think
stuff.
I am.
So I'm normally these shows can go forever and we talk about where you're from and blah 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 blah. But a couple of people have told me that I should just get to the juice and try
Yeah,
and see what I can do, right? What do you think?
yeah.
Should I
Let's
just do
do
it?
it.
All right. So let's just get to the meat of the show. I'm going to try this in reverse. You know, it's funny. My wife and I were on a cruise 2 years ago, and we always said, how do we get our child to eat food? You wouldn't eat his regular meal. So you know what? You know what this guy told us on the cruise? He said, you know what I do with my kids? I give them dessert before dinner. I said, really? He said, does that work? He's like, yeah, because I give them half the dessert, and I tell them if they want the rest, they have to finish dinner.
Wow.
And the reason I bring that up is because you know what? I'm going to give dessert first. That's what I'm going to do.
There we go.
All right. So let's dive deep. Let's get right into it. So you have you've done such a shift in your business in terms of where you are and what you got going on now. You were an agent in a large system ecosystem. Now you're a broker in a growing ecosystem, and I believe you're an integral part of that growth. I really do, because as far as I'm concerned, and what I mean by the ecosystem, it's Opus Elite. If anyone doesn't know, Opus Elite is a boutique real estate brokerage that started out of Newtown, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, has now grown to four offices. Right? Is it four?
Langhorne, Robbinsville, Poconos, and Newtown. Yep.
Newtown, Pocono. Yeah, and then you are the broker of record out of Robbinsville, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you're now the broker. You were not a broker before. Now you are the broker.
No.
Now you are a broker.
Correct.
So this is new for you. You've
Broker
also
in
opened
PA
up.
and New Jersey.
Oh, you're a broker in both states now.
Yep. Went and got my broker's license.
And then that Langhorne office is your office. You opened that Langhorne office.
Yep, that's me over there in Langhorne.
Wow. So you for lack of a better word, not only made a jump from a office perspective, career-wise, you're exploding. You're just doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we're doing all kinds of fun things and helping other agents at Opus and whoever I know build their brand too. However I can help, I'm willing to help.
What are you finding now that you've made the switch? Like, where is your focus from a professional perspective? What are your goals? Are you finding yourself being a little more selfless now? Are you doing things more for the greater good as opposed to?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I came from more of a scarcity mindset, or at least that's the way it felt for me. You know, I felt like I had to hide every lead, like I was grasping onto everything, to more of a trusting, open atmosphere that goes up to management and what management creates, basically. And
is that weird? Like, is that like a psychological change? You're like going from like, I'm holding on to my stuff to like,
like you're hiding everything. And then all of a sudden you don't even know you're doing it either. I didn't know I was doing it. And it's like, wow, I don't have to live like this, you know? And that's the way I was taught for all those years, that you have to hide everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, there's plenty of business for everybody. And you're going to have a friend that I don't have, and they're going to call you, you know? And it is what it is. So,
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's such an overabundance of everything, right? It's like real estate's like this massive buffet. And I think now more than ever, you guys have realized, especially in such a competitive environment, if you want to get deals done, you have to have a relationship with the other people, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's become definitely, I started really, really realizing that a couple of years ago, but that's definitely come to the forefront now with the change.
Yeah.
I also see that where I was at prior, you didn't really talk to other agents outside of that office. And
Hmm.
now it's like, oh, I can go to other agencies and talk to other people. What's the harm? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
always so afraid, oh, don't recruit me, don't recruit me. And it's like,
You can take me to lunch.
whatever you want to do. I'm not going to lunch with anybody. I really don't want to hear about your company, but I'm more than willing to talk to you and still be friends with you. You know what I mean? It just
That's funny.
doesn't
So,
make any
so,
sense anymore.
so one of it's interesting. So was that, do you think that's the biggest shift personally in
Yes.
yourself that you've seen? Okay.
Yeah, being more open, and because that's a huge difference in who I am.
And on a personal level, were you just always keeping everything in from a protective standpoint?
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
saw things, leads, people, ideas get
Mm,
stolen. And
mm,
it was like, oh, like so and so stole this person's idea. Or, I was like, oh, okay. You
mm,
know, it
mm.
became, I don't know, it was just, I didn't care for that atmosphere. And I didn't know I was in it until I got out of it.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? Especially when you look back from an outside perspective looking in, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, so much better to be out of that. And it's funny because I'll hear people talk from the office like, oh, this happened, that happened. And I'm like, you just have this reality, like this feeling flushes over. You're like, wow, I used to be in that and I don't have to be that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
'Cause I,
crazy, right?
I always stayed out of the drama and the stories. I had no clue what was going on in my back office and I was good with that.
Yeah.
But you still knew some of the stuff because everybody was holding on, just the
Yeah.
way management talked, it made you
Yeah.
feel that way.
Huh.
So,
Do you feel like you're established at this point in your business? Like, do you like it sales perspective and from like an average annual, like, do you like, are you consistent in how you approach things, and are
yeah,
you established?
I would
Yeah.
say I'm pretty established. And I mean, it's been 21 years. People
Mm,
know, like when I run into people, they know, oh, why aren't you wearing red? Or, this is what I hear. Or I had red on a couple Saturdays ago, but I have a red dress on. Where's
mm,
your red dress? And people think real estate when they see me and they come up to me and talk about real estate. I don't, I'm out to have fun with my friends and see people I haven't seen, and people start to talk to you about real estate instantly. So I think that kind of makes you feel more established, or says that you are, because people instantly think real estate when they see you. And then also, I guess as you build things up, your level of internet presence, people know what I'm out, and social media presence, people know what
mhm.
you're out there doing, and they're like, oh, I see you all the time on Facebook. Oh, you look really busy. People see all that, and it
No,
lends the image.
it's interesting. No, it's funny. So there's two topics I wanted to hit on with you today that I think you're a master of, right? I think it's your daily habits and execution, and I think it's your personal branding. I think those are the two key things that you are extremely, extremely good at, and probably have played a lot into your success. But forgetting the word success, it's a predictable level of business that allows you to be confident and calm. Because here's the other thing that I think we find: when you don't have a plan, right, and you're not actually executing, when the market goes like this, you kind of crap yourself. You're
Yep.
like, what do I do? Right? But and I've noticed this about you're just very, very calm. And tell me, is that because you have that execution, that routine, is that all ingrained, and is that something you worked up to?
It's definitely something I worked up to. I think a lot of it is blocking out negativity. It comes down to that routine in the
Mm.
morning. I don't watch the
Mm.
news. I don't know what's going on. I know what people tell me, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes I feel like people will think I'm stupid. I know I'm ignorant to what's going on. So,
Yeah,
and
I get what you're saying.
I know
I'm the
what's going
same way.
on with the economy and interest rates, and real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not worried about the latest shooting, and that may sound cold, but
No, I understand what you
you
mean.
got to
I know what you mean.
protect your positivity and your happiness, you know?
That's a good way to. So tell us, were prior to getting into the business, were you structured in your routine and your habits? Is that something that's who you are as a person, or did you develop it while getting into the business?
I would say I developed it in the business.
Okay.
I was always an early riser, but this
Uh-huh.
definitely, um, the mindset and everything came with the business.
What do you do to develop? What do you do to sharpen that pencil? What are the things you work on to have that mindset?
Um, every morning, getting up, meditating, listening to a positive. Everybody has their preferences, whether it be a
Mm.
positive podcast, book, have faith in God. Everybody's got something different, but
Mm.
I put something on, and it changes over time what I listen to.
Mm.
Whether it's a motivational YouTube video, which I'll just
Mm.
listen to anything that triggers my mind to create joy and happiness.
Okay,
And
I
that
like that.
changes over time, the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like, okay, I feel great today. So I'm like, this is awesome. And that'll draw more people to you.
And what time is that at usually for you?
4:30. I get up, I go to the gym during this, then I
I
come
love it.
home, and then I'm still listening to the positive podcast, or I'll put on a real estate podcast. And when you're positive and open, you'll be more creative. Like, I'm sure you can attest to this because you're
Mm-hmm.
pretty creative. Like, if you're in a down mood, there's no creative flow at all. There's no marketing ideas, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing's coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to create the reality you live in. My happiness comes from me, not from, what my client does. And I think that's where a lot of the calmness comes from. I can't emotionally react because a mortgage fell through. Am I upset? Yes. Do I feel for my client? Yes. But now it's time to jump in and have an action plan, not sit back and have a pity party. We got to take
Love it.
action and figure out how to get it sold. And
So
you have
so
to
so
create
for
that.
so for I'm going to cut you off because I want to go
Sure.
I want to do your daily day. So 4:30 in the morning.
Yep.
So I want to place context. This is this is what I love about this, right? So if I'm up at 4:30, it's because I have to be. It's because my kid's crying, which happened at 5 this past night. She had a little rash on her rear end. I had to do a little aquaphor. I put her back down. I got back down. So you're up at 4:30 by choice, right?
Yes.
And do you ever miss that time, or is it 4:30 every day?
Well, on the weekends, like sleeping in is 6 o'clock for me,
Okay.
6 a.m.
Uh-huh.
So, sometimes on the weekends, I don't set the alarm. A lot of times I naturally get up at 4:15. The dog normally will make sure I get up because she's used to the routine and wants food.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, but I would say 5 to 6 on the weekends.
Okay.
And then during the week, I stick to the routine.
There's definitely less noise. Like, it's funny. The one thing that I found, and I don't know if you heard my monologue in the beginning of the show.
Yes, I did.
I went into Barnes and Noble yesterday. It's the first time I was there by myself. I don't even know how long. I honestly don't even know how long. And I stood at this bookshelf and it was quiet. But when I looked at the bookshelf and I was reading all of the titles: grow your business, digital marketing expert, get into coaching, self-help, happiness. I literally was like, like I wanted, like it was like I was so overwhelmed. And it's funny, for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was like, I am that bookshelf. Like
Yeah.
I'm that bookshelf. I'm like, which book do I start with?
Yeah.
But for you, and I'm bringing, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you are like this, right? You get your mind set as soon as you wake up, right? And you
Yep.
get up and you begin that thought of opening yourself up to allow yourself to execute and to be creative as soon as you tap into that level of happiness, right?
Yep.
So okay, so you get happy. What do you then? What you fill up with protein? Like, what's the next step in your routine?
So do that. I go to the gym. I come home. I usually listen to another podcast,
What's
book.
the gym look like for you? You super, like, do you do different body parts? Do you regimen?
So
What's
I've
your goal right
changed
now with that?
over
Yeah.
the years.
Uh-huh.
As I've slowed down greatly. I used to be all about jumping around and doing hit workouts, and I got to push, 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 push. And I've kind of scaled back to a lot of stretching, and I'll
Okay.
just do some body weight. I mean, today I did some deadlifts. That obviously isn't body weight. Squats. Abs. I did abs and legs. I just kind of roll with it. And
Deadlifts. Give me one of these. Let me see. Let me see. Wow. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
but I don't know that won't disappear since I haven't been pushing like I used to push. I've just felt like more of an inner peace lately that's kind of slowed me down. And most people will not understand what I'm talking about
Mhm.
because I would have never understood it until it happened.
Hmm.
So I'm just
Hmm.
move at my own pace. But that
So
doesn't mean
your
I'm not
routine.
going to kick into gear.
No. I get. So your workout. Your workout is still. It's there for the sake. So the workout has taken a new definition for you, right?
Correct.
Maybe before it was like to get your motor running, to reach personal goals, to do.
Yes.
Now it's more. Now you're doing it because it's fulfilling another aspect of your revving up. Call it your revving up part, right?
Correct. I'm now feel like
Yeah.
I'm doing it to release endorphins more so, which a doctor told me I should be doing 10 years ago.
Mm.
Versus a hit workout where you're go, 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 go. It adds to stress. It adds stress in your life.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So I'm evolving. I've had a lot of goals over the past year, and
Mm-hmm.
this is not part of it. I didn't know this was going to be part of it, but it was.
But it's cool because it's also, listen to how present you are in every aspect of your day, right?
Yeah.
So like opening up the mind to allow the joy to come in, creating the joy, doing more to do that. So you do the mind, you do the physical, right? You're doing these things to really rev up your day so you can literally go boom, 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 right?
Yep.
Again, that's where you're at. All right. So now we're at the starting gate for Christina, right?
Okay.
We've done all these things. The horse is ready to get out of the gate, right?
Yep.
Now, get us out of the gate. Who are you talking? Like, are you consciously calling clients and past clients and people in the community? Like, what does a day look like for you from like a work perspective?
So my mornings like you at the bookstore, where I'm like have all these things, these great ideas, like all these marketing ideas are in my head. So I usually sit down, write everything down that I want to do, and
Uh-huh.
then I don't really have a typical like. It's like okay, I just know when I have to call certain people, and I
Uh-huh.
do, but I'll
Uh-huh.
start working on marketing. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's been the biggest in this market. That's the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing right now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
each market's for me different, in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, or the level of energy I devote to something. Like I'm always going to do social media, but um our marketing is a little bit more key now since there's so many realtors coming in to the
Mm-hmm.
market and so little inventory.
And
So,
that's interesting. It's interesting too because you're a 20-year veteran in the business, right? And
mhm.
one of the most key points that people should understand is it doesn't matter how much of a veteran or how experienced you are, you better be prepared to continue to evolve, right?
Yep.
And continue to bring out that fresh aspect because it doesn't matter how, I mean, yes, referrals are a big part of your business, but you've got to keep you fresh, right?
Yep.
And modern and cutting edge. But it's important because it's almost like if the key to any successful person, no matter where they are, is complacency sucks. You know what I mean? That in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So literally, and it's funny because this is a disclaimer because I talked to Christina so many times. She's got so much in that mind of hers from an experience and a knowledge perspective. I'm just trying to pull it out as much as I can.
Well, I guess like the answer to this is, what do I do? It's not so much a daily routine when I get to work as I'll make sure I work on, like, I have in my head, I know where my business comes from. So I know X, Y, and Z has to get worked on this week. I have to focus on hitting those 5 things, you know, and then making contacts, keeping those relationships, right?
Right.
So I have
and
to
that's
do
the key.
that.
And that's the other thing with you. You're so good at that, right? You're so good at understanding which pockets of people or which spheres you need to continue to hit.
Yeah.
Right. And you hit them as part of your routine, even though you don't realize it. It's ingrained in you, because I'll turn on Facebook and you're with a local civic association, you're with a local blah, blah, blah. You're just doing it every single day. But not only that, the one thing you're really good at, and you don't realize it probably, and I remember you telling me this from months ago when we first met, it's you will routinely call past clients or call people that have inquired about your business that you may not have closed with, but you'll consistently do it. How are you? How are things going? How's the new yard? How's the dog? Happy birthday. You do that so well.
And it's nice when you do it, because I'm not doing it to get, I want to stay top of mind. That's my goal. But it's also really nice to like text somebody and be like, hey, how's the house? You know, it's been a year, whatever. And they'll send you pictures. It's just nice to hear from them because you have that relationship built. Now, I mean, are there some people that you don't talk to again? Yes, there are, because things went sour for some reason or another. I can't make everybody be happy no matter how I try, you know? So it's good to keep in touch with people, and it's a lot easier when a lot of them are your friends or, you know, people you've known, because you naturally run into them. And you don't need to sell yourself. Just be nice and be.
But that's the other. I'm not trying to make everything business, because part of it's just organic, right? It's organic, but not everyone has that in. So like, and I do this for the purpose of people that are either struggling or have plateaued or new, to realize that you're a machine, not so much because you're consciously doing it, it's because you just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Well, I guess you're going to pull something else out. One of my things that is my daily goal. I have daily goals in my head. And one of them is I want to lift up other people. How do I help lift somebody up?
Cool.
Because number one, that's the person I want to be. Number two, people do business with people they like, know, and trust, right? So why not be that person who's there to help? Like if you called me and said, I need help with this, I'd come over and help. I don't really have a problem. Do I expect you to sell your house? No, I don't. But that's the way to live life. And that'll come back to you in another way. It might not be from that person, but I believe in the energy out there will help come back.
So one of your core focuses is to do things without the expectation of getting something in return.
Correct.
That's altruism, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just help uplift people. It makes you feel better inside. It creates joy in your heart when you help other people, and it'll come back to you.
But a lot of this has to do with the fact that you have committed to your belief system, right? And that's something that some people can't get behind, because not everyone's positive. Not everyone's optimistic. Not everyone's motivated.
I was one of the most negative people growing up.
Yeah.
I can still remember being little and my aunt saying to me, you never smile. And she's
Mm,
right.
mm,
I didn't do a switch until my 20s.
mm,
So, and to be honest with you, it wasn't until I used to be a lot heavier. It wasn't until I lost weight. I was very
mm,
unhappy. And when I
mm.
started to lose weight, it kind of shifted and changed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's
Interesting.
lifestyle.
So it's lifestyle, but it's also that
Okay.
connection with the endorphins and the physical activity.
Yeah.
That really is a core part of you. You know, that
Yes.
metaphysical, that connection between the physical and the mental, and that's cool. That's cool. So it makes sense though, because when you said that, and it's funny because I always look for those pivotal moments in people's lives. Sounds like that was your pivotal moment. And what I mean by that is when you started to lose the weight and you put in the routine of the healthy lifestyle, it changed your whole mind.
Yes.
And that whole mind is probably why you're a machine.
Without a doubt. Because if you're going to stay, I would still be that negative, this won't work, that won't work person.
Yeah.
I hear people all the time say to me, that's not my personality. Well, you can change your personality. Because my personality used to be, that won't work. We can't do this. We can't do that. And
But that's super profound. It really is when you think about it,
you
because
can change yourself.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can change anything you want to change.
And maybe, something, forget this whole how do I lead generate or who gives a shit about all that, right? It's how do I connect with becoming the best person of me? How do I connect with things that make me happy,
Yep.
right? And think, because
Yeah.
once you do that, that
Pushing out this
unleashes,
energy.
yeah,
Like
that's
I
some
have
deep
random
stuff.
people talking to me all the time everywhere now. Because you'll start to notice you feel better. And it's like, oh, it's just so much easier. Like I'm
Hmm,
talking to people in the grocery store that I didn't used to talk to anybody. I'd be like, don't
hmm.
talk to me. I don't like anybody. Arr. Like that's what I used to be like. And I'm like, we're all on this earth to help each other and relate. And it's not, it's much better to have a good day and smile than it is to be, I don't like people.
So was real estate what allows you to fulfill more of you, or was it the opposite? Meaning, do you feel like it's the vehicle that you help to fulfill your personal goals, or is it a situation where you're like, you know what, I've kind of needed to get into something that allowed me to be more, social, more civic, more selfless?
Nah, the first one.
Okay.
But I also think that, I notice too, because you keep making correlations, or
Mhm,
sometimes you remember a correlation that you already made that you forgot about. That happens a lot.
mhm, mhm,
Like I noticed last week we did a senior day event, and I'm out playing the crowd, meaning like making everybody feel good. That's what
mhm,
I do.
mhm.
So I was like, wow, I feel so good doing that. So
Hmm,
I also feel a lot better when I'm out with people,
mm,
and not even so much like, hey, I'm Christina Swain Realtor, is hey, how
mhm,
are you? It's great to see you today. So a lot of agents are working from home now, and you don't get as much social interaction.
mhm.
And that helps build the joy up inside. Basically, that's the long term
No,
where I
but you want to know something? It's funny how the world, it all comes together, because the most common theme I get from every agent that's extremely high level is they're experts in relationship management. They're experts in relationship management. And I mean that. You know exactly who you need to connect with to make yourself successful, right? So if you were to write down, here are the buckets of people that I need to interact with throughout the week, right? To fortify my business, you sit back and you don't think about it, but you are very good at, how do I develop an interaction with them? It's the same thing with me with realtors, Christina. I mean, the last thing I want to do is be like, hey, I can write you pre-approval super fast and
thank
close
God
it
you're
one
not.
day. Wah, like I've learned about me that if I don't believe in it, I can't even talk about it. It's bullshit to me. Like,
yeah.
You know, and that's why I'm saying, like, you are so good at those relationships, but even more so, it makes so much sense why you're at Opus, because I feel like that's what Opus does. They connect so deeply with the communities they serve and the different spheres of people that they interact with on a true, authentic level, right? And that's what I think, that's why you are such a pivotal element to the growth, because you're the new Christina Swain. You are this person now that is, you're not just fulfilling yourself on you're not just building pipelines and doing transactions and selling homes. You're going out and making a difference in people's lives. So the business just comes.
Yeah.
It just comes by doing that. That's cool. That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's never been.
You didn't have anybody call me from the Philippines, because the number of officers these Philippines calls. I'm like, really?
See it closing.
Yeah, what is this?
But this was good. This is, and by the way, I am going to bring you back. I'm going to, like, my goal is to have you on multiple different times to talk about different things. This was kind of like a getting to know you, your daily habits thing. We are going to bring you back to talk about the things you do to interact with your spheres, because you're so good at it. Like the events you do and the things with the different, oh my God, you're so good at it. You really are. You're really good at it. But I do want to talk about one other thing, and then I'm going to let you go. Personal branding. Okay. So you tell us about this Realtor in Red thing and how important it's become to your business and persona. Give us where did it start from? Give us that whole thing.
So a couple of years ago, I had this client where I was going to say, I just had one red dress and I would wear it. And everybody would like make comments about how good I looked in this red dress. Lady in red. I'd walk through the hallway at the office. Everybody say something. Clients would say stuff. And I was like, and I was looking for a brand. I had an old prior brand. I don't even remember. Lifting you above the competition, because I have the arms. But I do a lot of seniors, and I felt like that kind of alienated and scared people. I didn't feel like it just didn't fit with me. I just didn't feel like it was a fit. So somehow I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just start wearing red. Everybody in this red, Realtor in Red. Why not? And the simplest thing just caught on. And I'll be out on a Sunday. Like there's one time I went out to breakfast on a Sunday walking around town, and I ran into a friend from the gym from years ago. And he says to me, you don't have red on. I'm like, I was only wearing red to go to work then. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I have to do this full time. And now.
So Christmas gifts are super easy for you.
Yes. And patriotic holidays. I got them down too.
No, but I guess it's a bigger picture of how important you believe personal branding is.
Yeah. Everybody, like when I go to like groups of friends where we have like parties, different social gatherings, you know, I'll hear like, oh, like a couple Saturdays ago, I heard you don't have a red dress on. I had a red top on with white pants. But, you know, it's like, okay, like, but even that, you know, the person's thinking about you as the realtor, and, you know, you're top of mind then. So that's kind of where it all came in. I see it all the time. People are like, oh, you got red on. Where's your red? At the gym. You got red on today. How come you don't have red on? So it's kind of caught on, and I saw a strong response. So I thought, you know what? We're sticking with this.
That's good. That's good. Billboard. Yeah. Jason thinks you should do a billboard. It's actually not a bad idea.
I had one with the
Seeing red.
Yeah. Now we just got to come up with, I need a theme song other than Lady in Red.
Oh, wait. My camera's off.
Yeah.
What happened to my camera?
It disappeared.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, there we go.
I don't even know. But no, I guess, look, my goal was to do two things today. I mean, obviously, and I'll always tell people who you are and what you do, but, you know, speaking from a superstar perspective and other people that are in professions, the importance, well, actually, you brought up 3: presence of mind, right?
Yeah.
And the ability to get your mind prepared. 2, which is execution via daily habits. And 3, actually, you did 4 now that I think about it. 3 is finding your core happiness, because in reality, otherwise you're lost in the bookstore, right? and 4, which is the amazing impact of personal branding.
Yes.
So
and it could be something so simple as red. I mean, the simple things work.
I got to think more about this. Maybe I need an article of clothing to identify me.
I couldn't. I'm amazed still to this day how easy and how well that caught on.
It's interesting. It's an interesting concept, actually.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna tell everyone. Yeah, I know, Jason. Superstar sunglasses. I know. I got it. Yeah. It's supposed to be my thing. I got to start rocking those things. But
yeah.
What was I going to say to you? So it was a pleasure. I love these sessions because I feel like it's helping so many people. And I'm always focused on that person in the sales space. I mean, real estate specific, obviously, but anyone that's in that, silo, I got to go out and bust my butt and succeed. That kind of person in that sales commission only thing, right? I mean, you could be professionally too, but that's kind of where my head's always been with this show. And you've been awesome. Your nugget bombs are phenomenal. They are just boom, boom.
Great.
Yeah. But I do want to announce everyone. We'll give them a little tease, I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
Little tease. Christina and I have a project coming up together. Do you want to tell? Why don't you tell everyone the concept? Do you want to just give a tease, or do you want to wait?
Let's do a tease.
All right, you do a tease. Go ahead, you do it.
So Chad and I have been talking. We like to bounce ideas off of each other because we're both creative people. Anyway, so we're talking about looking at houses with character. We're going to go into homes and tour them, but they have to be homes with character. So it's going to be interesting, and we're developing the concept now.
That was a good tease. I like that. Well, as always, Miss Christina Swain, it is an honor and privilege. These conversations help me realize more and more why you are the elite Asian that you are, and person, by the way. It's nice to get you to know you more personally as well. It really is. And I respect and love working with you, and look forward to many more of these conversations in the future.
Yes. Have a great day.
Everyone, you ended it for me. Okay, that's it. Well, listen, I think she said it perfectly. Thank you for watching another edition of the Real Estate RE Superstar Show. I've got to get used to it. I got to get the real estate part. I got to go to RE, more street lingo, where we are interviewing people in the real estate space that are excelling and finding out the recipe for success. Thank you so much, Miss Christina Swain of Opus Elite Real Estate. Hit her up anytime at swainsales.com, right? Swainsales.com?
Yes.
All right. Swainsales.com. Everyone have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time on the RE Superstar Show. Peace.